Education Testing Service is out with a chilling new report about what is simply a failing public education system in this country. The study forecasting a decline in the quality of life for millions of middle-class Americans because of the decline of public education.
It's going to take a high level of education to be competitive in the job market for the next decade. 46% of employment growth will be in jobs requiring college-level skills. Once in those
ourselves accountable is here. What's required is not simply new investments, but new reforms. It's time to expect more from our students. It's time to start rewarding good teachers. Stop making excuses for bad ones. It's time to demand results from government at every level. It's time to prepare every child, everywhere in America, to outcompete any worker anywhere in the world.
We have 100 million people who don't have the skills, the literacy skills, and the mathematical skills for the 21st century, and that's going to get worse, Lou.
Say that number again.
It's over 100 million people on the age 16 to 65 who are in the workforce who don't have literacy or numerical skills for the workforce, and that's going to get worse. Because in 30 years, we estimate there'll be another 50 million people who will be exactly in the same place.
And at the same time, you're saying you expect 30 million people will fall into the two lowest proficiency levels by 2030 unless things change. As we go around this country, we've got half the black students in high school dropping out. We've got half the Hispanic students in this country dropping out. What in the world are we going to do? We've got a federal government that wants to talk about no child left behind, and aside from the benefits of it, and certainly there are some, it is not an emergency response to what you're describing and clearly defining and empirically demonstrating is a national crisis.
I think some of you know that my sister's a teacher, so I know what you guys have been going through setting up and getting ready for the school year. And we appreciate what you do each and every day because there is no job that is more important.
Public education system is, in my judgment, the great equalizer in this society of ours. It is absolutely critical to the American dream, the American way of life. What can we do to turn this thing around and to do it quickly?
Yeah, I think it's a return to common sense. It's absolutely critical that we do something about it. That's what we hope from this report. This will be a wake-up call. People will look at the reality of where we are. Return to common sense, start kids earlier in school. If they need nutrition, give it to them. If they need English language training, give it to them. Return to the basics, mathematics, reading and writing. Without a good start, nothing else works.
Right.
And our school is on probation right now, and I think it should really open their eyes, the principal and administration, so they can see that we need more help.
One thing that I feel is important is creating incentives for good teachers to come to the community.
I also really wish that there were more places within my region, within Appalachia, that I could go to school, and it wasn't just about getting a job or getting a vocational training, but it was more about, like, how do you learn, how do you tackle critical issues, how do you talk to people about different subjects, how do you really engage in your education and take that to a different level.
What's the role of technology in rural education?
I think that it has a lot of untapped promise. One of the things that technology can do, if it's applied meaningfully and in a targeted way, is bridge the gap, the geographic gaps between rural educators and other resources out there in the wider world. So online coaching or online professional development is one way to leverage technology to help rural teachers access the training and resources that would be helpful to them, but that aren't necessarily available in their immediate community.
Do you have any specific thoughts about technology in rural education?
Oh, it makes a huge difference. These children that we're teaching today have never known a time that the internet did not exist in their lifetime. You and I are the new term going around is digital immigrants and digital natives. These children are digital natives, and we have to teach them in a way that they're used to functioning in daily life. You know, computers are here to stay. That's the bottom line. Teachers have to be able to use them. Teachers have to integrate them into every lesson.
We as educators know that there is an emotional tie between a teacher and a student. And when you go into a classroom, 90% of what you teach is who you are, and the other 10% will be your subject matter. So through distance learning, you still have that one-on-one with a human being.
We feel like that need for interactivity is extremely important, and visual communication is the best environment for students to be able to learn. The kids are so much more comfortable in an interactive environment.
It's a very intimate setting.
They get that feedback, they get the conversation, they form friendships.
Those teachers that are proficient at it can make seamless transitions from class to class.